I'm Alex, and I'm one of the tour guides at Excursion West, and we're hiking today, and I thought it would be fun to show you guys what I carry along in my day pack. For starters, got a water bottle, GPS, sunglasses, and some trail mix that I was already eating. I also carry my cell phone in case of emergencies, and I use it for a camera as well. Car keys, and this is a walkie-talkie that I carry to communicate with the other tour guide whenever groups get separated or we go different places on hikes, that kind of thing. Let's see. So as you can see, I've got two pretty big water bottles on here. I'm carrying water for myself and for the puppy today, so that's why I brought a bit extra. But you can never have too much water, especially hiking out in the desert. I also like to carry a couple of bandanas, one or at least one, sometimes two. They're great for dipping into the water, cool yourself off. You can wipe your face off. They're extremely useful. Let's see, got the rest of my keys that I didn't want in my pocket. Wallet, you should always have some form of identification on you whenever you're out hiking or exploring new places. Tissues, toilet paper, always useful and kept in a dry place. Waterproof matches in case of an emergency. Here I have a flashlight, a headlamp, just in case it's happened before where I've been caught on a hike after dark and it's real difficult to find your way back down if you don't have a headlamp. And a lighter, also kept in a waterproof place. I keep a few different fire sources in my backpack because it's one of the best things you can do in case of an emergency is start a fire. Here I have my knife. It's bigger than the typical knife that somebody would take hiking and probably a little heavier than it needs to be, but I just like the fixed blade in this particular knife. I also carry the map and compass. Our other tour guide uses the GPS primarily, and I like to stick with the map and compass. Bug spray, sunscreen, extra trash bag, a notepad. It's good for writing down directions if you need to, or leaving a note, or quite a few different things. Pens, of course. And then I've got my first aid kit, which needs some additional things, but right now I've got my chapstick in here. This is emergency rain gear. I carry quite a few different types of rain gear with me when I hike, but I always find somebody who doesn't have rain gear. This is an emergency space blanket. It's reflective and it reflects your heat back to you and helps keep you warm in case you need it. Here's batteries for my headlamp in case I need the extra batteries. Here's some clothespins which have various uses. Dramamine, which can help with some elevation sickness or dizziness or other things along the trail. Here's some wrap for bandages. Small sewing kit. Another lighter. And here's a pencil in case my pens aren't working or they get wet, then I can use the pencil. And it's also got some duct tape if I need to fix something. Here's some tweezers, good for getting sticks out of your hand, that kind of thing. And this is for repairing glasses. And then in here I just have some Band-Aids, Neosporin, also some antiseptic wipes for cleaning out small wounds. And I think I also have some glasses cleaners in there as well. Let's move on to some of the bigger stuff. These are pants that I have. I use them in winter sometimes. I'm a person who wears a lot of layers. I don't just have a pair of heavy duty pants. This is my outer layer. They're pretty lightweight and they're somewhat wind resistant, and I can pull them on top of over my shoes and over my other pants, and I typically just use them when I need extra waterproof or water resistance or wind resistance. I guess they're not all that great in wind. And this is a rain jacket. It's a little heavy duty for the weather that we've been having today. Keeps me dry. Doesn't keep the pack dry though, which is why I also carry this poncho on the bottom of my bag, and you're not going to see people carrying these very often because it's a bit outdated, but I've always used them and I swear by them. And this is a World War II era, or maybe Vietnam era. It's an old military poncho, and in this climate we're in right now in Texas, it's not very useful because this thing's rubberized. It's going to keep you dry, but it's going to hold in the heat, so you might get a little hot if you're walking around in this. As you can see, it's got the hood right here. But I carry it around anyways because it's great for an emergency situation in case you need to make a shelter. If you're with somebody else, it's got little holes so you can tie it to trees, and you can snap more than one poncho together to make little shelters. It's just an extremely useful tool that's helped me in a few situations on a few of my hikes. And last but not least, I think we can get to the backpack itself. Maybe I should have started with the backpack. But the backpack, I like to pick a day pack that has plenty of different storage pockets and options. A waterproof pocket, at least one of them is always useful to have, along with the at least 2 water bottle holders. I like the straps on the bottom as well. Straps on the front, they're good for carrying the walkie-talkie, or if I want to, I can clip the GPS to this side for easy access. And it's nice that you can clip the strap on the front for the chest or around the stomach to help distribute the weight when you're carrying the backpack. And that's about the contents of my day pack. Thanks, and I hope to see you guys on a tour soon.